Hello all you CBers out there, my name's Paul. I'm here in the suspension room at Black and White Bikes and I'm just in the middle of doing a set of YSS shock absorbers for a CB500 and I had an epiphany and I thought let's make a little video that answers the questions about these YSS shocks that you guys have. So no further ado, let's get on. When you want to buy a set of these YSS shocks, you can find them all over the internet, I'm sure, eBay, Amazon, all that rubbish. And you'd end up buying something like this. This is a YSS shock absorber. It will fit the CB500, but it's not what you would get sold straight out the bag. It's not standard. The reason it's different, predominantly, is that a standard YSS shock absorber comes with a 1625 rate spring. Now this one, as you can see there, is a 2030. So there's two spring rates that are legally allowed to be used at Thundersport. And this is the heavier spring rate, okay? It's a progressive spring. It's got two rates, 20 and 30. And these are the ones that we sell miles more than the standard one, which is 1625. So that's the predominant change in that. And then we have a little fettle with them. So let me explain all about that. First of all, let's get the spring off. So these shocks have a lovely CNC aluminium collar on the preload adjustment. There's a tool that comes in the box, simple tool like this that slots into the holes, into the recesses there, and you can then turn that by holding that, and that will turn the threaded preload, and if it goes easy enough, I can do that by hand. Right, now you've got a massive range of thread there, if you can see all that. That's the range of thread available for preload. Now anything after about there, with about 20 odd mil there, is actually, it goes slack. So you can't use that bit, but there's still about 50, 60 mil of preload available after that. So we back that off. Now this collar, interestingly enough, also has a grub screw in it, an Allen head grub screw, so you can lock that preload collar off so that no one can lean over an assembly area and back your preload off like you would do that. So back that off all the way, turn the shock upside down, remove the spring seat, which is now available, fiddly but available. There you go, spring seat off, and the spring will just pull out like that. There you go. So you've got, let me just put that down. So your spring, as I say, 2030. So you've got the softer end there, that's the 20, that's the 30 there, okay? So actually with that preload you could probably, I've never done it quite as much as that, but you could nearly back all the soft element down and just run on a linear 30. But anyway, that's the spring that you want. So we put the springs down and you're left with the shock body. Now this is standard across, you know, this is what we would sell you. However, we would have a little play about with this. Now, a higher quality, more expensive shock absorber, we start taking apart by getting access to the seal head under here. You can see here that this is pressed and welded. Okay, this is not something that we can take apart, and we don't take it apart. That would be against the rules. So you cannot get into there at all. You've just got standard shock like that, but there is a bolt there. Okay, now if you were to undo that, you're going to get yourself covered in oil and nitrogen and make a right old mess. Leave that to us, we undo that, that gains us access to changing the oil and regassing the unit, okay? So that comes out, we drain the oil, that's the oil that came out of one of these, okay? It's actually not too bad. They've been listening to us at YSS and we did complain about this a little bit, and it's a better quality oil than it used to be a few years back. Perfectly good enough for jumping on your CV and delivering those Domino's pizzas. But when you're going racing, which I know some of you guys keep having a go at, we need to improve the damping a little bit. So what we do is we drain that oil out, we put fresh oil in, and we regas it. Okay, this is a stock shock. Okay, and if I demonstrate the damping qualities of this, hopefully you can see that. Okay, fairly easy to compress, fairly quick to rebound. Okay, now if I put that next to the, I'm wearing a microphone, this is all posh stuff, you know. If I put this next to the microphone, you might be able to pick up a noise. Can you hear that? That cavitation, that is cavitation of the oil. Okay, so that's getting, the oil is getting a little bit agitated in there and it's starting to lose its damping. So by changing that oil for a better quality oil, and which is a different viscosity as well, we actually get an improvement in damping, quite obviously demonstrated there. And virtually silent with no cavitation. So better damping, compression and rebound, and reduced cavitation. Splendid. So there you have it basically. You buy them from Black and White Bikes, we service them. That's all we're doing, just servicing the shock absorber. We're not doing anything with the valving. There isn't any valving in there. We give you the right spring rate. We preset the preload to something that we think will work with you, but you can go out and play around with that quite happily yourself. And they're great shocks. What more can I say? I'm sure that that bloke from, what is it, Jaguar Land Rover, he'll have something to say about this video, but ignore him, form an orderly queue and come and buy your shocks from me. Cheers.